Was read for the first time in this hallowed chamber on Wednesday, 17th November 2021. The National Assembly Budget and Research Office is an initiative of the National Legislature to support its work in its engagements with the executive institutions. The objects of the universe, among others, include to provide National Assembly with objective, timely, and non-partisan analysis, information, and estimates needed for economy and budget decisions, to provide independent, unbiased, and non-partisan analysis of the executive arms of government's annual budget estimates, to provide independent and continuous review and monitoring of existing and proposed programs and budgets of the federal government, to provide analysis of the economic implication of the federal budget on the private sector and the budgetary and financial implication of any proposed legislation when so required by any committee of the National Assembly, to keep proper track of bills passed by the National Assembly to determine whether the tax and expenditure goals set by the National Assembly are met in relation thereto, and to provide assistance to the relevant committees in both houses of the National Assembly, particularly with information that shall assist committees in the discharge of their functions with respect to budget and all bills providing new budget authority, to prepare and present to the National Assembly periodic forecast of economic trends and alternative fiscal policies with regards to federal government's money bills brought before the National Assembly in a financial year, and to provide the National Assembly with cost estimates, including inflationary impact of proposed legislation. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, as it stands, there is no organic law that gives power to any office to independently provide assistance to National Assembly in relation to budgetary and financial matters. The National Assembly currently operates in a manner which legislation is made and decisions are taken without relevant consideration of their financial and economic impacts. The only semblance of recognition of security, scrutiny, and or analysis of budget of the National Assembly or federal government is the Appropriation Committee of the National Assembly, consisting of members of the National Assembly, thereby depriving it of the quality of technical subject. The lack of an independent budgetary office specifically established to offer professional input to legislative budget process, therefore leading to lack of expertise and loss of the benefits that will be gained from proper review and analysis of the budget proposals. The proposed National Assembly Budget Office will report annually to the Senate and House of Representatives all items funded in the preceding financial year for which no appropriation was made by National Assembly, and all items contained in the Appropriation Act in the preceding financial year, but which were not funded by federal government. In line with Order 77.3, the Compendium of Financial Implication is hereby attached. It is in view of this and many more valid points that cannot be exhausted in this short debate that I urge you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, to please support this bill and recommend its accelerated passage. Thank you, Mr. President, and my distinguished colleagues.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Muhammad Sani Musa, representing Niger East. I stand to support this bill for the establishment of National Assembly Budget and Research Office. It is very important that this office functions, because if you look at other democracies, other parliaments, you will see that they have a budget and research office, and they do most of the work. When the appropriation is stable, you see that the office is engaged, and most of the things that we face today will be limited. And the functions of National Assembly everywhere is not just to sit down and adopt budget that has been tabled. We're supposed to research and see where necessary. Our budgets today, you will see a parastatal or an MDA bring in computers. Every year you buy computers. I don't know the depreciation or the wear and tear that components like that will have, that every year needs to be changed. So with research office, they will liaise with the budget office, with the MDAs, and the various committees of the Senate to assist them in making sure that our budgets are done in the right way. So I wholeheartedly support this bill, and I plead to my colleagues to also give their support for this bill to stay through.
No, thank you very much. An office that already exists. Because I recall in 2000, that's about 22 years or so ago, the then House of Reps introduced the bill seeking to establish NABRO. And there was one member from the State of Excellence, Lagos State, by name Honorable Habib Fashiro, who was given that responsibility to deal with that bill. I'm aware that that office established by the National Assembly, but there is no law backing it. And this effort by Senator Sadiq Umar Suleiman is to provide the legal framework, the legal backing necessary for that institution to have the legitimacy that is necessary. I'm also aware that that office hardly does anything. Not because the people there are not competent enough, but because they have not been enabled enough. I think it behoves the National Assembly to make funds available for institutions that will make its activities more effective and efficient. Individually, we have been given 5 legislative aids. The kind of funds available to us will not give us the kind of consultants that we'll ordinarily need as parliamentarians. So that NABRO office is supposed to house experts in different fields who will be giving us the best analysis on any issue of significance in national development that the Parliament is supposed to consider. I believe that we need to energize that office and maybe look for more competent hands to help it perform the functions it is meant to do. So with this, I'll put the question. Those in favor that this bill be now read the second time, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate. To provide for the establishment of the National Assembly Budget and Research Office and for other matters connected there to 2021 second reading taken, and the bill is referred to the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters to report back within 4 weeks. Leader of the Senate.